everybody, welcome back to my channel. So for you guys today, we are going to be doing a full face, a first and some second impression video products, just because I have a lot of, not like a lot of products that I haven't tried yet, but like I do have some, and then I have a couple that are like, I've had them for a while, but I've only used them once, and so I don't really remember what they were like. But yeah, with that being said, we're doing a full face, a first and some second impressions. I hope you guys enjoy these types of videos. If you do, please do not forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I would very much greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to go in with is the Pixi by Petra Flawless Beauty Primer. It's a hydrating glow primer, and I got this in my last Ipsy bag because I did cancel it, so it was actually like, I mean, it was the last one I received like for April, but then also it was literally the last Ipsy bag I'm gonna get for right now, just because other things. So it's in like a squeezy tube. I don't know how much to use, so like I'm gonna go with that amount, which is about a dime size amount. And how are you all dirty already? I haven't even used you. Whatever. I'm just gonna, that is like very glittery. Well, not really glittery. It's very almost metallic looking. Ooh. I don't know about this. I don't know about this. That's glowy. That's not even just glowy. That's like metallic. Almost like, I don't know how much you guys can see in the from my phone, but like doesn't, that's glowy. That's I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I don't know if I like that, just because of the fact it's so, my hair, I apologize. It kind of reminds me of when Nikkie Tutorials would use that Huda Beauty leg glowy thing on her face as like a primer. So there's that. I've never used that before, so I didn't know it was going to be like that, but something I have used, like this is a second impression, is this Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Hydrator. I've got the shade 20 Fair Neutral, or 20 Fair, and I know you're not supposed to do it this way, but like this is mine. Nobody else uses my makeup, so I'm just gonna take some and kind of like squiggle it all over, and it looks like I'm using a lot more than what I actually am. And this is like for a tinted hydrator, which is, I'm assuming it's basically just moisturizer. Again, it looks like I'm using a lot more than what I am, but I put more pressure on that to get the product out. It looks a lot more full coverage. I was thinking it's gonna be a lot because of Making Out Missa. She really likes it. I'm like, okay, let me try it. I kind of like a lot of her foundation recommendations, just because I think we have like a very similar skin type. And I think I'm just usually a little bit darker than her. Like this light is touch more tan or like olive complected than she is. That's nice. That is very good. I mean, you can still say my acne spots and stuff, but it's not bad. I don't mind it. I almost think it would probably be, I used it with a brush the first time I did this, so I think it probably was a bit more full coverage with the brush, but I kind of like how it looks better with the sponge. I am going to go ahead and do a little bit more though, because of the fact like that primer is still showing through really strong. It's like on my cheeks. I'm going to do a bit more and do a touch on my nose, I think. I'm just going to do a little bit more all over the face, just because that primer, yeah, it's very metallic, so you have to make sure you get your entire face with the covering product, I think. So let's do this. So, alright, so the next thing I'm going to use is a concealer that I've used before. I just haven't used it very often, and it's been a while since I've used it, which is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. And I'm just going to use, what shade is this? Fairest. It's the shade Fairest, and I'm just going to do some right there. And like drag it out. Put some on my nose to like highlight the bridge, and then I am gonna put some right here on my forehead and a little on my chin. I'm gonna blend out, and if I remember start correctly, this does blend very well with your fingers and a sponge. I'm just gonna use a sponge. Yeah, and I'm gonna add coverage to the places. You want there to be more coverage, but also brightening, which is what I want. See, that pimple is gonna be covered now, and that's a righteously sized pimple. Or serious pimples on my forehead. Yeah, I'm just gonna opposite. It's anyway. And it's your king. And then just blend. No, I don't love this sponge. It does not stay down for very long. It's a very odd feeling. Okay. Alright, so for powder, I have two. One of them is brand new to me, but because it's such a small size, I'm only going to be using it to set my under eye, and that is this KVD Lock-It translucent powder. I got this in my Ipsy bag, and I'm just going to take my Alamar brush to use to set my face, if I can get the little thing off. So I'm just taking like a teeny amount in this tiny baby cap, and I just use it to set under my eye. This is like the only brush I use this for too. I use to do this as well. Now this, the only thing I'm really worried about with this powder is that because it is such a full on, ooh, you know what? That looks good. That looks good. I have under creases, there's no way hell from away. But like most powders, I can immediately, even like my favorite one, which is the EDH one, I can see that almost immediately in creases. And I'm not sure if it's because I was making the jobs so small now with this powder, or if it's because of the powder itself. So I will have to use it again at a later date. But like so far, I like that powder. Oh my gosh, whatever. I'm not a hair person. Yep, this kind of does what it does. Okay. For the rest of my face, I'm going to be going in with the MAC Studio Fix Perfecting Powder in Extra Light. And I can just tell you right now, I don't like the packaging on this. Like, the fact that the lid does not have, like, a thing for me to dip it in. And then, like, there's this net thing. I guess it's to help. I did research, like, I was listening as to why they would have this there. And supposedly it's to help control the amount of powder you pick up. But, like, I literally have a hard time picking up any with this brush, or with this powder. So I'm just gonna add it on a highlighter or a blush thing. And just keep going until I get the desired level of set. Because if you don't fully set makeup anymore, like I do, you're just gonna keep talking to do. Okay. Good enough. Alright, and other than the packaging, I think I really like this powder because it is more stiff. You see, like, you can still see my skin underneath it. My skin is a little cakey or creaky or crusty, which has happened before with certain powders I use. It does end up looking pretty bad. But this did not, which I like the deal with some angle. But other than that, I mean, other than the packaging, I really like this powder. I think once I use it, once I use my other powders, I'll probably purchase this one. But I like it. You can sometimes see like the glow of my skin, which is nice. I don't care how my skincare, like, make sure it stays glowy and healthy looking. Sometimes it does. But yeah, so there's the powders I'm using. Alright, next we're gonna do blush and bronzer. But before I do that, I am going to just very quickly like set my face with the Morphe Luminous Continuous Setting Mist. This is like one of my favorite setting sprays of all time, just because it does enhance the glow without adding like glitter and stuff. But yeah, so there's that. And then for bronzer, what is this? Tapered powder. I want her. Tapered powder will work. I'm going to be using the NARS Laguna bronzer. I've never used this. I purchased it probably a couple months ago from TJ Maxx, but I've never used it. And honestly, I'm kind of scared too, because this is Laguna, which I think is like the lightest one. It's OG though. People like either loved or hated that bronzer. But like, let me find one that I use all the time, or like more frequently. This is gonna go horribly wrong, because look at this, is like my Milani bronzer. NARS Laguna. Oh no. Okay, we're just gonna be very, very careful then, I guess. So I'm gonna be taking this Sonia Kashuk tapered powder brush, and I'm just gonna like gently and kind of just tap that on. The problem for me is the fact that if it's not like pigmented enough to like be visible within like the first couple of strokes, I have a tendency to overdo it, just because I can't see it that well. And but that is adding, it's more sheer than well, maybe it's just the brush I'm using, because I am using like a powder brush, and that tends to diffuse things a little bit more. But I mean, can you see that? I think I can see it. Don't laugh at how I'm holding this brush. Yeah, that's nice. I think I like this. I'm not sure how often I'm gonna reach for it right now, just because I like a shimmery bronze, especially with going into like spring and summer. I like to look glowy, but I can see why people really liked this bronzer. Yeah, I like that, because it worked without making my complexion look muddy, which is nice. And it's not patchy or skippy at all on my skin, which is a problem I've run into in the past with certain bronzers. So I like this. Then for blush, I just have to figure out which one it is. I think it's this one. Yeah. We're going to be using Ofra Cosmetics blush in Bellini, which is like this peachy, I'm assuming it's peachy. It looks pink to me, but I'm going by the fact that it's Bellini, like peach Bellini. I'm assuming it's like a peachier blush. I hope it's a peachier blush. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Or I'm in trouble anyway. And I'm going to use this. Not that one. This one. Nope, not that one either. Hold on. I got all my my face brushes right over here so that I can reach them. Let me clean off this brush really quick. This is not how you should actually clean off your brushes, but it kind of works a little bit. This is a Sonia Kashuk tapered blush brush, and I'm just gonna go into the Bellini one. I've never used this. I got it as like an Ipsy add-on thing. But I tend to focus my blush from like the outer part of my eye back. Am I crazy, or is there nothing there? Am I crazy? No. No, there is there. I am crazy. Okay. It's not as like poppy as I thought it would be given the pigment of other Ofra products that I have, or another Ofra product that I have. It's not as in your face as I thought it would be, which isn't necessarily like a bad thing. It just depends on what you like to do for your makeup, I guess. I have no neck in this sweatshirt. Alright, so there is that. Okay, so we're back. And I did my brows off camera just because I don't have a new brow product to try out. But for our eyeshadow palette, I'm going to be using the Naked Ultraviolet palette from Urban Decay, because I love purple and this palette is very like purpley themed. So like this whole back half is purple, and there are a couple of funner neutrals. Now looking at this palette, I can already see a couple of things I don't like about it. Just like first impressions upon opening it, there are a couple of things I don't like about it. I wish that they had, because really there's only one matte purple, which is the shade Optimized, and it's like a lilac color right here. It's the 7th one in the palette. I wish that instead of doing like a whole bunch of these pale, like neutrally toned browns, they had done like deeper purple toned browns, because you can have purple toned browns, and so you would still have like the naked aspect of this palette, but it would be more violet and purpley toned. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. So instead of trying to use like these neutral tones that I don't really, I'm sure they're fine, but I don't want to use those. I want to use like these lovely luscious purple shades. I am going to go into Optimized, and I'm just going to use the brush that came in the palette. I actually like Urban Decay's brushes like this, and I'm going to put that into my crease. Sorry. I'm trying to make it so I can see what I'm doing, while also making sure that you guys can see what I'm doing. That purple is very pretty. It's got more pigment than I thought it would, to be quite frank, given how pale it is. And yeah, you can kind of see it right there. I hate looking like right in the lens because I have a light right there and it blinds me every time. But there's that eye. And then after that, I'm going to do something a little bit ballsy for me. And I'm going to go into the shade Digital, which is the last color in the palette. And I'm going to take, this is, what is this? This is a Morphe M431 brush, like this. And I'm going to go into this shade here. And I'm going to start stamping that, I think. Let me see. What are we doing? I am going to stamp that on my outer corner and then flick it up, I think. And then I kind of just want this in my crease. Okay, that kind of worked. Kind of in like the vaguest sense of the word. I'm not adding any more, but I am going to like, I'm not adding any more product to the brush, but I am going to blend what's left over that Optima shade that we did first. Alright, so it is like a touch patchy, but I think if we build the color up, it'll work just fine. So I am going to, what am I going to do next? Because there's not really, I'm going to grab like a larger fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into the shade Warning, which is next to Optimized, right here. And I'm going to try and blend out the digital shade with this. Try being the keyword. That don't look bad. It's not like my favorite look, but it's not as bad as it could be. Okay, I'm gonna go back in with that M431 brush and go back into digital and just really pack that on the outer corner because I do want there to be depth there. Like that. I kind of like it. I mean, again, it's not my favorite, but it's also not the worst look I've ever done. I've done way worse. Okay, so the last shade I want to go in with is let's do Euphoric, which is the 10th shade in the palette. It's like a bluey teal green color, and I'm just going to use my finger for this because I think shimmers work the best with fingers. And I'm just gonna like gently tap that over where it meets the purple shade to kind of blend. That is stunning. Okay, yeah, I like this. I like this quite a bit now. Okay. And then let me get a tiny baby brush to do the inner corner with. I'm just gonna spray a brush down with some setting spray. And I'm gonna go into the shade Lucid, which is like a white green color right here. It's the 6th color in the palette. Gonna get that on the brush and pop that right in the inner corner. That is, it's not showing up as like blind, as like poppy is what it is in real life. Let me tell you something. That is so pretty. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm so pleased with this, actually. Okay. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to go off camera, do my other eye, put on probably a purple eyeliner, and then smoke out the lower lash line with digital, and then we'll be back. Okay, so this is what the eye look looks like all complete. I really, really like how it turned out. I think that if you were to use an eyeliner that isn't like as dark a purple as what I used, you could probably make this look a lot more subtle. I also think that if you were so inclined, you could, because the purples are like mostly shimmery, you could probably take one of these browns and like put it in the crease and then put like one of the purples on your lid and have it be like a 2-color look, and then just like blend it really well to do all that. And I think that would look really cute. Sorry, my face itches. But anyway, we're moving on to highlighter, which is like my favorite part. So I'm gonna be using the Ofra NikkieTutorials collab in Glazed Donut. I have like used this once and I didn't use it correctly because it looked ridiculous. So I'm just gonna like swirl a few times and then tap and then just lightly graze. My cheek, holy shit. Holy. I mean, I'm not surprised because it's like Nikkie's collab, but also this is almost, this is like as metallic as the freaking primer. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. I love that highlighter. Okay, yeah, I just used too much the first time because the last time I used it, it was like a stripe on my face versus like dusting of color. So I guess the key with this is to just use like a light hand. Wowza. Yeah, that's really pretty. Buff my brow a little bit and again on the nose maybe. A pinch on the lip. Yeah, that's... Do you see? Oh, I love highlighter. I love it so much, and that's a really good one. Okay, the last thing we're going to be using is for lips, and this is from About Face, which is Halsey's brand. I got it in an Ipsy bag. I still cannot read the shade name, but here, that's what it is if you guys can see it. And it is a purpley toned, which is why I thought it would be good for today. I'm not crazy about like the applicator part of it, mainly the handle. Like I have fat fingers, okay? So like I need something to hold, and I feel like I'm not holding this very well. I don't mind the rest of it, but I kind of just wish the handle on the applicator was a little bit longer. And this is only the second time I've used this, so. Ooh. It smells like Vicks. That's what it looks like on the lips. It is a very pretty color, and I think it matches the eyes up really nicely, and it does have a nice dry down, which is good. It is like a liquid matte lipstick, so it is drying down, but it's very like comfortable. As of right now, it almost feels like I have nothing on my lips, which is nice. I like that type of texture. The thing I'm not crazy about is the smell, because it's kind of like a mix of Vicks and like eucalyptus almost, and I don't mind the smell of either of those things. Excuse me. Like, I love the smell of eucalyptus because it's almost minty, and I love the smell of Vicks. Vicks is like one of the smells of my childhood, which should tell you how often I was sick. But I'm not sure I'm crazy about those two, excuse me, scents together. But yeah, might have to use that again just to get like a final impression. But all right, so let's do a real quick rundown on the products. The primer, I do not like it whatsoever. It's too metallic. It's like silver metallic. The hydrator, I really like that. I like it better with a second layer, and it layered very, very well because it just adds like more coverage, which I personally like more coverage. Powders, I love those. The concealer, I like that as well. I like how well it blended in and it offered coverage where I wanted more coverage, because even with a second layer, that tinted hydrator is only going to build as like a medium. It's not full, but it's not medium. It's like somewhere in between, and I like fuller coverage just because I have so much acne scarring and like zits and stuff I'm trying to cover up. The concealer, I really like the concealer. It's not creasing any more than like what my natural creases do. The powder, I love the powder. I love both of those powders. Let me tell you something. That Kat Von D one, the KVD one underneath my eye, beautiful, love it. The blush I really liked. The bronzer I really liked once I could build it, because they're both like, and you guys can see like they're pigmented, but they're not so pigmented that I look like a clown, which is nice. I like that. I like the highlighter now that I've used like less of it. It's a highlighter where you can't go in and go like you can't go crazy with it, otherwise you're going to end up looking like freaking stupid. I didn't use a new brow product. I didn't use a new eyeliner or mascara. The eyeshadow palette, I like it. I mean, I like it. I do not think it is worth whatsoever the $49, so $50 that they charge. I didn't pay that much for it. I need to tell you guys that I got it on sale because they were having a 50% off sale on it, and then I had a 15% off code for that, so I ended up getting it like for $23-ish, I think, which isn't bad, and I think it's worth the $23 I paid for it. I don't think it's worth $50, just because there was a little bit of fallout, which I mean isn't that big a deal as long as you do your eyes first and your face last. But then like the fact that like you guys saw how much I had to work to do this with it. Once I got there, I loved how it turned out. I absolutely love it. I think you can do many looks with them. I wish, however, and I said this in the beginning of like using that palette, I think that it would have been better had those neutral tones been more purple leaning neutrals, and then like the shimmers just need to be a very good gradient of like light to very almost black purple. I think they could have done it a little bit better than what they did. It's not a bad palette, but it's not worth the $50 freaking that they're charging either. The lips, like I said, I think I'll have to do it another time because I like how it feels right now. Like, it's very lightweight. I can't really tell that I have it on until I go to like rub my lips together, and that's just because like you can't move your lips with a matte liquid lipstick on. It doesn't work. But it's not like bad. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. But anyway, you guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do not forget to subscribe and give it a thumbs up. I would very much greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, let's get started. Oh no. With that being said, I will see you all in my next one. Bye.